Hey everyone, welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian channel. My name is Annie Rubin. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and I work with clients struggling with autoimmune diseases. Things that include fatigue, digestive issues, pain, and just a low quality of life because you're living with an autoimmune disease, and that can be challenging. So in my work with my clients, I help them implement a personalized nutrition roadmap designed to help them improve mobility, concentration, and energy levels to help them live the life that they should be living. So today we are talking about flares. For all my autoimmune warriors out there, what is the one thing that we dread? It's a flare. Flares are when our autoimmune disease becomes more active. It can manifest in several ways, depending on the disease that you have. So while flares may seem like your world is coming to an end and crashing down all around you, there is a lot that you can do to calm your flare down and get back to being yourself again. So today I'm giving you a diet cheat sheet to use when you feel a flare coming on. These are foods that you should and should not include when you are going through a flare. So before I jump in, I just need to attach a disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. So please consult your qualified health professional for any changes to your medical care. So why does food even make a difference in the first place? So before I jump into this food cheat sheet, it's important to understand this. The food that you eat can actually trigger inflammation. It does this in a variety of ways. One way is to increase intestinal permeability or leaky gut. When your intestinal lining becomes compromised, large food particles and other substances can sneak through and get into your circulation. This may trigger an immune system attack. Another way food can trigger inflammation is it can disrupt your gut microbiome balance. When that balance is off, your microbiome loses its ability to regulate your immune system. And lastly, food can disrupt your hormone balance by altering your blood sugar management. Okay, so what do you do when you have a flare? It's easy to turn to comfort food when you are sick. However, those foods will actually make you feel worse. When you are experiencing a flare, the best thing you can do is to really clean up your diet and focus on eating the most nutrient-dense diet that you possibly can obtain. This includes fruit, vegetables, high-quality proteins, healthy fats, and plenty of fiber. In addition, here are a few flare superfoods to include. Bone broth. Bone broth is rich in gut-healing nutrients to heal that leaky gut. It contains collagen and glutamine, and it's just a great kind of soothing liquid to sip on when you're not feeling great. Sometimes liquids can be really easy to take in. So bone broth is definitely something I always have on hand in case I have a flare coming on. Fermented foods is another one. These help add probiotics to your gut to rebalance your gut microbiome. You can find your probiotics are found in things like yogurt. You can find it in sauerkraut, kimchi. If you eat tofu, that would work too. There's lots of really great options for fermented foods. Organ meats is another one. I know that's definitely not something you think about when you're feeling sick, but organ meats are extremely nutrient dense, especially in vitamin A and zinc, which help support your immune function. Liver is my go-to, but there's plenty of other options for organ meats that you can try that are just as nutrient dense and maybe not as kind of organy taste to them. Omega-3 rich foods. So this includes things like salmon, sardines, avocados. Omega-3s help bring inflammation down. So it's important to increase that when you are feeling a little bit sick or you have some sort of inflammatory issue going on. Cruciferous vegetables. So broccoli and cauliflower actually contain sulfur, which helps protect against oxidative stress. So when your body is on attack and you're trying to prevent damage to your cells, you really want to reduce the amount of oxidative stress. So that's where those cruciferous vegetables can really come in handy. And then berries. Berries are rich in antioxidants to really help stop cellular damage. So the goal here is really to reduce inflammation by introducing plenty of phytochemicals and antioxidants to protect your body against oxidative stress and free radical damage. Okay, so what are some things that you should avoid? when I feel a flare coming on, I start to eliminate the foods that I know don't make my body feel good. Even the potentially okay ones that I eat every once in a while, I do start cutting those out too. Some of the biggest triggers for me are sugar. So I cut out anything with added sugar and really try to minimize the amount of natural sugars. Sugar can affect your insulin and cortisol production. It can also trigger leaky gut. The other negative thing about sugar is it can disrupt your gut microbiome. Alcohol is another one. So when I'm feeling good and flare-free, I do include an occasional small glass of wine or tequila, which is my drink of choice, in my routine. But when I'm feeling a flare coming on, things just start getting a little more achy. This is one of the first things to go for me. Alcohol can trigger a leaky gut, and it really puts a lot more stress on your liver to help your body metabolize it. So alcohol can also cause dysbiosis in your gut microbes, which you don't want. Gluten and dairy is another big one. I always try to remind my clients about this. I do stick to 100% gluten and dairy-free diet, but some people may kind of dabble here and there with some gluten and dairy. But when I do start feeling some stiffness in my joints, I make sure that everything that I'm eating is either certified gluten-free and is totally dairy-free. I also cut back on eating out to avoid potential cross-contamination from kitchen restaurants. And then food sensitivities is the last one. So if you know what you're reactive to and what you're sensitive to, that obviously can change over time as you heal. But when I do feel a flare coming on, I do try to cut back on those foods that I know that were reactive for me in the past. I am able to tolerate those more and more as I continue to heal, and as are most people. But during flares, I do try to remove those foods again, just to be extra careful. Okay, so today we focused on the food flare cheat sheet. The foods that you want to include again are bone broth, fermented foods, organ meats, omega-3 rich foods, cruciferous vegetables, and berries. During flares, be really careful about eating added sugars and other processed foods, alcohol, gluten and dairy, and any foods that you know that you react to. If you would like more help, managing your autoimmune flares or, digestive issues or just inflammation in general, I would love to chat with you. You can go to my website, annierubin.com. I offer free 15-minute discovery calls to learn more about you and your goals, and if we can figure out if we're a good fit for each other. Also on my website, you can download my new freebie. It's a root causes of autoimmune diseases. This booklet covers the top 5 common triggers of autoimmune diseases, how you can test for them, and then next steps for developing your own treatment plan. And then lastly, I have a weekly newsletter that I put out. You can subscribe to that. It comes to your inbox every Thursday. I put a lot of great information on managing your autoimmune disease with food and lifestyle. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. These videos come out about every week on a new topic regarding autoimmune diseases and diet and lifestyle. So catch me next week, and thanks for listening.